Hey, welcome back to the show, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. A question I get all the time is about my pedals and the pedal board and how I've got things wired up, so I'll do my best today to try and answer it all. So just to start with, this is a homemade pedal board I made about 10 or 15 years ago or something. It's just out of timber and I've sprayed it black. It's got like a cupboard door, kitchen drawer handle on the front and everything. So in the back, just to save space here, I've put the DC power brick just inside here. It's just secured with a little metal strap. You can plug the power in from the front there, but essentially it's a really good power supply. It's got 10 inputs, 8 of which are 9 volt and 2 are 18 volt. And I've had no dramas with this at all. It's been going for about 15 years now and not one complaint really. And then just flipping back over to the front here. So the Fortin grind, the MXR6 band, the Gary Holt boost, Zach Wild OD and the Boss OD, they're all going through the front end of the amp. And running through the effects loop, I've got the MXR 10 band EQ, the Master Effects EQ from Hell, and an MXR carbon copy delay. And I really like the delay in an effects loop. I just find that it's a little bit more subtle and it sounds better. The only reasons I've got the carbon copy delay down by the Boss NS2 is just for ease for attaching it for that 4 cable method. And really the 4 cable method is just something I've been doing the last 12 months or 2 years or something. One of you guys brought it to my attention on the channel and I tried it out and it's really good. And essentially what you do to plug it in, there's a diagram there on the screen, but it doesn't make sense and you don't think it should, but it's a really great way to hook up the pedal and it quietens both the effects loop and the front end of the amp. And keeps everything quiet and it's really good at it and it doesn't change the tone or affect the tone in any way. You do just, when you activate it, you do have a slight volume bump. That's about all. So something I have found setting up these pedal boards is the placement of pedals before or after different pedals really makes a difference to the final tone. Everyone's got their own way. There's no wrong way to do it. It's just a different tone that you're going to get. And I always start guitar going straight into the overdrives and I think they give the tone the best foundation, and from there I can build on it with EQ or modulation effects like a phaser or a chorus or something like that. But essentially it's just overdrives into EQs and then into the noise suppressor, always at the end. If you put the noise suppressor at the front, I find it just squishes the tone from the guitar before it even gets to the pedals. It'll make things really quiet, but you will lose tone, I think. As far as the effects loop goes, the EQs are just there and I'm going into either a reverb pedal or a delay there. And really the sequence of those things don't really matter a lot. It's more the front end that really makes the big difference in the tone. And for any of those modulation effects like the chorus or phase 90, I'd be inserting those between the overdrives and the EQs. Now we get to the pedal choice and why I've got these pedals over many others. There are some that I swap in and out, like the chorus and things, if I'm wanting specific tones to capture albums, but all in all, I just like what's on the pedal board now. It's pretty versatile. I can get most tones. The MXR 10 band is just an amazing EQ. It's really quiet. It pushes the frequencies or takes away frequencies you want with no distortion or gain that's unwanted, no noise. It is 18 volts, so make sure you've got the 18 volt power supply. And then the Master Effects EQ from Hell, the parametric EQ. They're chalk and cheese EQs, but this is just an amazing EQ. I've had different ones in the past. This is the quietest, has the most dramatic effect on the tone, and I really like it. It's fantastic. The MXR carbon copy delay, I just knew everyone uses this on any pedal board, whether it be Zach Wild or John Petrucci or whoever. Everyone's always raved about how good the MXR carbon copy is. I've had other delays in the past, but it is a great delay. I think it's, especially in the effects loop, it's just really nice. It's really lush. So getting down to the overdrives now, I've got 2 on the board, but I very seldom run them both at once. They're just really unique in tone and really different to each other. I find the Boss, it's just a super affordable overdrive. Everyone's got one. Gary Holt always raved about it, and I eventually just bought one only about 12 months ago, and honestly, it's a fantastic OD. It takes a lot more of the bass frequencies out of your guitar, and really gives a gritty, gainy mid to it, a bit of a snarl rather. And in comparison, the Zakk Wylde Overdrive, it's a lot warmer. It's got more punch. It's got a different sort of gain to it that adds a little bit of grit to the gain. Just totally different sounds, and they're both just really good. But I'm always blown away how good the SD1 is for the price, and it's a third of the price as the Zakk Wylde, and it sounds really good. Tightens things up beautifully if you've just got the gain wound right back and you've got it in front of the amp. It really makes you like a great thrash tone, great foundation for it anyway. So what's next? Getting to the Protone Gary Holt Boost. This really is just it's a parametric EQ that only focuses on mid frequencies, and I use it to push signals. You could put it through the loop and just scoop things out and make things really unique, but it's fantastic in the front end. And so really the MXR 6-band and the Protone Gary Holt Boost, they're so similar, but they're unique enough that I have them both on the board just because I can't really get the tone of each. There's slight differences. The Gary Holt Boost just has a little bit more bass, a little bit more punch. I can get more of a hissy aggression, whereas the MXR EQ, it tends to push the mids almost to like wah territory. So they just push things ever so differently, I guess. And next brings us to the Fortin grind pedal. Every other pedal on this board can be used for so many different tones. They're so diverse. There's so many different uses for each pedal. But the Fortin grind, it's got one purpose, one use. It's a one-trick pony, but it does that one trick awesome. It's just totally unique. I've heard people say that you can get the same tone out of an EQ, but I can't. I can't even get in the ballpark of the same tone. So whether or not they get it close, I don't know. I don't care. I think it's just a really cool pedal. It adds such an aggressive edge to your tone. It's got a low-end thump, and then it's like you've got a lot more pedals going on, and it's just one dial. So it best sums up when I did the capturing tone video of Gary Holt's Exhibit A, and you'll see it set that tone off perfectly. You'll just hear that it has just a really unique air about it. It's totally different to what I ever expected, and I love it. So it's staying on the board forever, even though it only does one thing, but it does that one thing really well. And that just about sums it up to my pedal board, how I've got things set up. Hope it answers all those questions for you guys out there. Don't be afraid to make your own. You can make it how you want. I've thought about making more sense, just having one for an effects loop and one for a front end, but this has everything I need, everything to capture all the tones. It's pretty straightforward and basic, and it's all affordable. So all that being said, guys, hope I could show you something this week, answer a few questions, and take care. Bye.